here. I am Mel. I'm the CEO and the owner of Mel's Girls and Curls, where I specialize in customized, ready to wear wigs. Oh, here go Key. Okay, Key, go ahead and request, and I can go ahead and put you in. Let's see, view request. Okay, now why is she not popping in? You guys thank you for being patient. Give us a minute here and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Remove from the live block. No. Key, are you on?
I'm here.
Hey!
Hey, girl.
Hey, this is
You look
Key,
cute.
guys. This is my girl Key, and her name of her company is Her Savage Hair, and she is one of my alopecia sisters. And we decided to do this collab together because we both
Hmm.
suffer from alopecia. And she makes the most amazing braid wigs around. Let me tell you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
hi, Key. You want to introduce
Hi.
yourself?
Yes, I will. Hey, Mariah. Hey, everybody. My name is Key, like Mel said, and I'm the owner of Her Savage Hair, where I specialize in providing glueless, beginner-friendly braided wig units and all your favorite braided styles for the girls like me and Mel who are experiencing hair loss and maybe be unable to rock braids because of hair loss or damage to your hair, and also for like the queens who are just like, I don't have the time, the money, or the edges to risk or commit to, getting our braided styles. All of my styles are throw on and go. So you literally can swap out, rock your braids in like 2, 3 minutes and you out the door. So
Awesome, awesome. So I've introduced myself. You guys
mhm.
know me. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the conversation. And we would love for you guys to engage any questions that you may
Mhm.
have asked. There's nothing off limits. We are just here to share and to hope that we can stop the stigma about hair loss and the stigma about mental health
Right.
because they kind of go hand in hand.
They do. They
They do.
do. And I was saying both are so like just like so important to me because in addition to dealing with alopecia, I deal with alopecia, anxiety, and also depression, and all things that at a point in my life I used to be very embarrassed by. And like now it's like it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? That they're a part of me, but they don't like define me, which is, why I think you and we were able to just connect so quickly because we both are feeling the same, especially when I say when it comes to just our hair loss and really mindset in general. Knowing that we all have the choice to be able to basically decide how we allow different circumstances to affect us. Ultimately we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control kind of our response and, whether we kind of just take it and fall down and, whatever, just kind of feel like everything is over and be hopeless, or if we, move in a direction to try to figure out, okay, how do I make the best of the situation, or what can I change? What can I do to make myself feel better? That sort of thing. So, like I said, they definitely go hand in hand and are, so important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I know, and I'm sure many women that suffer from hair loss, whether it's alopecia or whether it's because they're some kind of medical condition that they're
Going through chemo
having.
treatments, etc.
Yes, yes, yes. And even after they have a baby, a lot of women lose their hair. I know my daughter, she was having issues with her hair and patches coming out after she had her daughter, but it came back. But there's so many reasons that you can be losing your hair. Um,
Right.
with
So
that
guess what?
said, we're here and we're just trying to help people to reclaim their power back.
Right.
If you are suffering from hair loss. And if you look at Key and I, if we didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't even know. You would just think we are women that love to wear wigs and like to look fabulous. You know what I mean?
Which is
So
also true.
yeah, so you wouldn't even know that. But one thing I can say, um, through my 30 plus years of having alopecia, there's so many facets. And back then, when I was diagnosed, no one told you what to do. They didn't,
Hmm.
like right now, mental health is like at the forefront, right? because coming out of pandemic, we can see all the mental health issues that's going on around the world. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was diagnosed, no one told me about a group, where to go, who to talk to, whether
Mm-hmm.
there were people like me or not. And as we know, when we're little girls and we're born, our hair is our crown.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom put the bows, the barrettes, you looking cute. You know, all of that. Your hair means a lot. And we are attached and it's entwined.
Mm-hmm.
So when I lost my hair, I felt alone.
Mm-hmm.
I felt ashamed. I felt embarrassed. It was like a death, but I didn't know who to talk to.
Mm-hmm. I know I've said it for me, I remember, and I guess like it would be good for us to share like the forms of alopecia that we have. We actually have two different forms of alopecia. But to the point of like how you felt, I know for me, so the form of alopecia I have what's called traction alopecia. And so this is a very common form of alopecia, especially in African American community with the hairstyles that we wear. And often the cause is due to like high tension styles that we made due to our hair. So from, getting perms to make weakening our hair that way to getting braids and sew-ins, tight ponytails, all the styles we do and all the stuff that I did coming up that contributed to like more and more of my hair just falling out over time. And so after I had my second child, so after I had my daughter, that's when it went from me just like having little to no edges to like all of a sudden I lost my hair across the front too. So with traction alopecia, often you'll have hair, because I have a lot of hair in the back, but around my hairline, I'm probably lost about 3 inches of hair across. And so that really limited me in like the styles that I could wear. And I remember just feeling ugly and just feeling like, just not like a woman, I
Yeah.
didn't feel like a woman, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I didn't feel like a woman. And so that was something that was hard to deal with. And even, I tried to hide it from, my husband, because like I said, I've always had the thinning edges, but even when I was like dating and stuff, like my husband, I remember it wasn't until, I don't know, we might've been a couple years in, I actually showed him like what my hair looked like, but I would do all the things to hide it, to whatever, because it just, I didn't feel cute. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I didn't feel like me.
And you know what? I can totally relate to that because, like, you have traction alopecia, I
Mm-hmm.
have scarring alopecia. And with scarring alopecia, in case you guys on this live that don't know, I suffer from an autoimmune disease, something out of my control. Didn't even know I had it until I had it. And what that does, that will close off the hair follicles and it will make the hair fall out. And the follicles can never grow back. I don't care what treatment. Nope, 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 nope. It's not coming back, right? So I think I only have maybe 10% of hair left, and I basically have it in the back. And I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know why I'm holding on to it, but I kind of hold on to it because I don't know, I'm holding on to it, right?
You might want to braid it, put a little barrette on it at some point, like just, you don't know.
Exactly. And then it does help, like when I put my comb in the back, like when I create my
Mm-hmm.
wigs, I don't have combs here. For my
Mm-hmm.
customers, I have combs, but I don't have no hair there. So ain't nothing to attach there. So there's no reason for me to have a comb there. I don't want to stick it in my
Mm-hmm.
head. But
Right, right.
I have scarring alopecia. And when I was diagnosed and doctor said, "Oh, you have scarring alopecia," I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
The dermatologist never went into detail. I had to research, and they didn't have any groups or communities like they have now,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm so, so grateful for. All the
Mm-hmm.
different communities out there. Because do you know it's over 50 million women, probably more, that suffer from some form of alopecia?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's like a lot of women don't even know necessarily how to identify it, like, and that's the thing. It's like I do feel like in our community, as far as African American community, the whole was it the Oscars? I think, yeah, the Oscar slap with Will and Chris
Yeah.
Rock and that whole situation that kind of brought it to the light where it got some publicity, more so, and people started to like, oh, that's what I have, oh, or whatever, or kind of to put a name to it, because again, I didn't know. I just, all my life, I had thin edges. That's just what it was, or whatever. But really recognizing that it is a condition, and it's okay if you feel, because I know another thing that, this actually came out in that discussion with the whole Jada Pinkett Smith thing about like, oh, I think somebody said, oh, it could be worse. And a lot of stuff could be worse, but you never can tell someone like you can't feel a certain way, you know what I'm saying, about how something that you have, whether it's, you know, because of in bad choices you may have made dealing with your hair, like I did, which, you know, definitely helped contribute to mine, or if it's something that beyond your control, like and in that sense, it's like, so when you do get to that place of like, okay, now I have it, you know, and in some cases with some of the forms of alopecia, depending on if your follicles are still live or not, there are different treatments and things that you can do. And I know some people have tried hair plants and just different things that you can do. You know, it's more so like one of the things I want people to know is like, you don't have to take it as like, again, I'm scarred, I'm ugly, I'm whatever, you know, like there are things you can do just to help to boost yourself up. And at the end of the day, actually it was in one of the alopecia groups that I'm a part of, I saw someone I mentioned earlier about they just had gotten diagnosed, and they basically at a point where they wanted to, they're like, okay, they wanted to shave their hair, but their family members were saying, you know, they basically didn't support it, you know.
Yeah.
And then my message to that young lady was just like, hey, at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you feel beautiful. So if that was going to make you feel beautiful, to go ahead and just let it go and, you know, start getting comfortable rocking your hair bald, or in our case, like we turn to wigs, you know, and you rock your wig or whatever. It's like, it's all about you doing what makes you feel beautiful, and your people, your family, your partners, everybody, they'll fall in line. Because one of the things I have noticed that it's times when I, like, me being confident about myself, again, it radiates. So there were times when I first started wearing my wigs, and I started wearing wigs in like 2016, like literally out of desperation, because I got into that point where I could no longer hide with the sew-ins and all that, because now my hairline is now here, you know, and I went through that whole process, and I had some horrible, you know, some horrible experiences just trying to find the right provider and all this stuff, whatever. But I finally, you know, found somebody. I found a provider who was very caring. She really gave me hope. Like, she really just, you know, like, we got this. You know, we're gonna find you some styles, yada yada, and like that. So that's kind of really what pushes me as far as with my business, to be able to give that to other women. But when I got to the place where I found, like, I started getting my confidence in the wigs and found my groove, it actually inspired me. I lost weight. I started playing around with makeup. It just all these different things, like, where it, like, literally, I'm like, it unleashed a savage. That's my business, her savage. It gave me my savage back, a savage I didn't even know I had, like, but it brought it out, because, you know, again, it was just kind of changed the mindset of like, oh, I got to wear wigs, to like, oh, I get to wear wigs. I get to experiment. I get to play. I get to change my hair every 2 days if I want, or every day, every 30 minutes if I want to. Like, you know, I literally had on a different wig this, you know, earlier today. Like, just put this on for this. Like, so it's like, just, you know, that shift in mindset about how we are approach our situations and our circumstances is something that I just want to, you know, just really put out there for anybody that may be dealing with it, and, you know, just kind of feeling like, okay, you know, especially that whole, I feel ugly. I feel this, like, you know, like, shift, like, this your opportunity to maybe play around with some styles you know you couldn't do with your natural hair. You know, you're like, okay, I want to be like Mel. You want to have you some blonde. I know I saw Mel earlier in the week. She had red.
Girl, I switched up. And one thing I tell people, what I love about wearing wigs, once you get the right fit, you get the right person that will help you and hold your hand and walk you through, whether you're wearing a braid wig or a wig like mine. It will help you reclaim your power back. You don't have to feel ugly, because I don't feel ugly. Let me tell you, can't nobody tell me I don't look good right now. I feel amazing. When I put my wigs on, I tell you, can't nobody tell me I have alopecia or I'm bald headed. I know I'm bald headed, but you can't tell me I'm bald headed, and I feel great. And one thing I do like about, if there's any kind of aha moment or any kind of hoorah for me, one thing about wearing wigs, I can create my own hairline. If I want my hairline to be natural, like, you see this is natural.
That looks good.
It's installed, it's natural. But if I want to be exotic and have a larger forehead, I can. If I want to be red, like Keith said, I was red yesterday, but I ain't red today. I got the little balayage kind of thing going on.
I love it.
It's way too long for me, but I'm trying out a new vendor, and baby,
it's super cute.
I'm loving her hair. Thank you. But I
I love
want
it. I love
all
the color with the
women,
complexion, all of it.
I want
But I'll
them
say
to
you.
reclaim their power back. You don't have to feel ugly because
Mm-mm,
one thing I did notice going through my journey, um, in silence,
mm-hmm,
keeping it to myself. I never talked about it. I never shared. And I don't think that was the right thing to do. But
mm-hmm,
it was the fear
mm-hmm,
that stopped me. However, I'm just blessed that I didn't go into a depression because so many women that I speak to now that have alopecia and I have consultations and things like that, they really went into a deep depression. Then they started going into body image. Then they started judging how their body looks.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
mental illness, mental health, or whatever you want to call it, it's real.
It's
And we
real
have to be
and it's
kind to
devastating.
each other because you
Mm-hmm.
never know what someone is going through.
Right. And that's why it's something like, just as we see, because actually I was in the store the other day. I was in Ulta with my daughter, and the young lady behind the counter that was helping us out, she had on a wig and her wig had slipped back and you could see her wig cap. And so I was sitting there, and if there's people in line, whatever, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, I want to let her know so she could, adjust it, but do it in a way that's delicate, again, not embarrassing or whatever. And so, I saw her, I asked her her name, I saw her tag, asked her name, she told me. So I just kind of whispered to her, like, oh, I'm like, your I can see your cap is, showing, whatever. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much, for telling me and for, whatever. And it's like, in that moment, I could put myself in that shoes. I've had times, when I first in my journey, I'm like, it's been times where I got back home and I'm like, oh my God, like my wig was way back and nobody say anything to me. But it's a way that, like I say, like that when you see somebody even trying, they're experiment, this may be new for them, they whatever, even yourself, like just having grace with people and giving yourself grace. So you might have that time where it's like, oh my God, like I can't believe, oh well, now you know how to, next time this is how you properly secure your wig to go out, or just be gentle with people. So like for me, I love to see, like I have like footage of my clients, like I said, so I do some stuff in person, like as far as local, but then also I do e-commerce, so I'm online, so I ship. But when I get like the videos or people just seeing the reactions, the initial reactions, that's something that like literally I would say is priceless, because you could tell in that moment, like how you said, when I put on my wig, I don't remember that
Get
I
it?
only have 10% of hair. It's like it make you feel good again. And so that's what the experience is. I think that, that we both want to provide to our clients. I talked to a young lady earlier today, and we were just talking about something, and she was going on about, again, how she felt when she put on the unit. And she's like, I'll pay thousands of dollars for it. She was like, because I can't replace this feeling. Every time I put it on, it's a
It's
feeling.
a
I just
feeling.
get my confidence. And so that's something that's just so special. And so I applaud you,
Thank
and for
you.
also being up there and just doing that, and providing that message. And also I know you have a community,
I do.
as far as to help women to be able to
I
come and
just
feel safe.
started this community and
Mhm,
it's called Alopecia Wig Warriors. We slay
mhm,
wigs. And it's really funny because when I thought about the people I truly wanted to serve, I wanted to serve women like me,
mhm,
women that have lost their hair, have been through that uneasy feeling in life
mhm,
where you internalize everything and you're paralyzed by fear, but you know that you have to keep going because you got
mhm,
children, you have a family, you have to provide, but you kind of suffer in silence. You
mhm,
don't share anything with anybody. That was me. I'm that girl. But
mhm.
I knew I had to provide for my family and I had to keep going. But I suffered in silence. But I said, I prayed and I asked God, I said, Lord, I need to know what my purpose is. I know I'm selling these wigs, but what is my purpose? What do you
Mhm,
want me to do? And I kid you not, he spoke to me as clear as day, and he said, it's within you.
mhm,
What you're dealing with, you need to help the other women.
mhm,
You need to provide them quality, beautiful wigs so they can feel like you feel.
mhm.
And I just said, thank you, Jesus. And I always knew what my purpose was. I had to dig
But
deep,
mhm.
you
And
know.
I'll say similar as far as just that, you know, at the end of the day, and that's something when I talk about just my business and people, or even like, you know, and just my ways, I'm like, I'm not claiming I'm the best, you know, I have the best breed of weeds in town and all this stuff and all, but at the end of the day, I know I have a quality product, quality service, and you gonna feel good when you put one of your Her Savage units on. That's one of the things.
Absolutely.
And so and it's like I said, just about just touching in that. I see we got a question
Okay.
here. Jack said, do you have to use glue? So I know you mentioned that yours is
No,
installed. So do you use glue for
no,
yours?
you don't have to use glue. What I do use is Bold Hold Liquid Gold, and it is a water-based product. If I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to take this unit off now, I would just spray water around the hairline and boom, it's
It'll
off.
lift
I don't
without any
use
damage or
any
anything like that.
glue whatsoever. And with the Bold Hold Liquid Gold, I can get like 5 days. I'm different from a lot of people, you know, they come home and they take their unit off. I don't take mine off. I sleep in all of my units because when I get up, I want to be ready to go. But you don't
So
have to do that.
I'm the opposite. So mine coming on and off. So so like this, I literally said, I literally just put it on, and you know, I do that. So mine comes on and off when I come in and out the house, and depending on how I feel, I might switch it out. But like I'm a germaphobe. So when I'm outside, I come in, I want to take everything off, like hair, everything, just let it sit, and I don't want to touch my bed and all this stuff like that.
Yes.
That's part of it. But also, again, you know, letting my hair breathe. But yeah, there's so many things now that is available that you don't have to use the glue. And so, and
No.
actually, Mel, I'm gonna send you some. I have a lace melting spray. I'm gonna send it to you so you can try it out too and see how you like it. But similar with the water-based solution, that's a tempo.
Absolutely.
For like I said, for those days where it's like, you know, I want an extra security, or another thing like what I have on right now. I'll show you. I have on, this is like a velvet wig grip. So this is something else that's just kind of gives me extra security, you know, if I know I'm going to be out all day, it's hot, I might be sweaty or whatever. Those are things. So there's a number of things that you can use where you don't have to put glue on your hair, because we know that also can contribute to hair loss, you know, as far as especially with
Absolutely.
taking it when you're trying to take it down and pulling the hair and that sort of thing. So
Right.
yeah, there's so many things. I guess I
I
know you have.
also I also
Okay.
have a freeze spray that I use that I sell online, and also have a wig grip like he has.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sell my glueless wigs, I suggest anybody that's new to wigs, I don't suggest them to purchase a 13 by 4 or a 13 by
Right.
6. I
Right.
suggest them to purchase a 5 by 5 because
Yeah.
it's just this area right here. And you just like Key's wig, you don't have to do anything. That's a
Just throw
glueless
it throw it
wig.
on.
Pop it on
Mm-hmm.
and go. I
Mm-hmm.
also offer those type of wigs, but me, I've been wearing 13 by 4s and 13 by 6 forever, and I don't know, I'm just comfortable with it, and that's just what I do for
You
myself.
like, and I'm cute in it, so I gotta keep it on. Like,
So
I
I
feel
gotta
you.
keep it on, girl. So I don't know. That's what I'm used to. I just like the whole process, I guess.
Hmm.
So whatever works for you, that's why
And
I
I
have
was saying that's what it is.
consultations. Key
Yeah.
has consultations for the women that want to wear braid wigs. And let me tell you, I love a good braid wig. So y'all don't sleep on the braid wigs. I like versatility.
Yeah. And I said, especially like now, because again, just talking to friends, different people, and a lot of people are just like, oh, again, they get her styles, or I saw one lady, I think she said her hair took 12 hours to install, and then it's like, shoot, now I got to take it down, and it's just like, oh, I gotta take off work, I got to give up a whole weekend. It's just like, no, like I can literally throw it
Look,
off, and if I want to throw on another braided style or non-braided style, I can do that. So that's why, like, I love what I do, and just being able
yeah.
to have this and provide this. And I guess so, as before we wrap, I want to ask, like, what are some tips that you know personally you use as far as to get to that place of just feeling comfortable in your skin, comfortable with living with alopecia, and just kind of getting to that place where, like, let's share some tips
Okay.
to the people, that's
I
the ladies
think
and
the
people
main
that's
tip,
watching.
a couple tips that I can
Mm-hmm.
give you ladies or anybody that you know in your family that may be suffering from any type of hair loss. Don't judge. Be supportive. It's a very, very sensitive. When I say sensitive, it's a very sensitive topic. And how I think I managed through that was the love of my family, my girls. I never did tell my husband, so you know that's a whole other thing. But I know
Right.
he's my biggest cheerleader, and he would love me regardless,
Yep.
regardless. When I tell you this man loved me, he loved
Yep.
me. And he don't care if I have hair or a piece of cactus on my head. It's okay,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So I would say share something with someone that you love. Share it with whoever you love the most, which was my girls and my best friend, because I know it would come with no judgment. And
Hmm.
if you can join a community
Hmm.
that's like you,
Hmm.
and that way you won't feel alone, that you know that it's nothing that you did or any kind of lifestyle, live in, or anything. This is beyond your control.
Hmm.
And then just kind of figure out, because I don't think it's a right or wrong way. You don't have to wear red wigs. Because I
Right.
see some women, baby, they rock that bald head like
Oh
nobody.
yeah.
I be like,
Oh
damn,
yeah.
they look
Oh
good.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
They do. Like,
amazing.
but
So
you
I
know what I think it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So I would say don't judge the women who don't want to wear wigs, and women that wear bald and you choose to wear your bald head. Don't judge the women that
Ain't right.
want to be bald, because we are
Exactly. So
in
that's
this
yeah.
all together.
Yeah. And that's the thing, where by there being, several different types of alopecia, I know I have felt that sometimes, with me, again, I do have a good portion of my hair left, but again, it's the back of my hair. I don't have the front of my hair. And so for me, I still feel like, I felt like less feminine and ugly, because I'm limited now in my style. I can't, I can't do anything, that you would do before or whatever. But I know I had felt moments where it's like, okay, do I fit in an alopecia community because I'm not, completely bald or do whatever. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's a personal choice. And so
Absolutely.
that's what I love. Again, you're starting, you have your community now. You start as far as with, focus on the whole alopecia and ways of just getting comfortable and that sort of thing. I would say in terms of like tips that I would give would be, in addition to what you said, would be one thing is just kind of like figure out like what things just kind of make you feel good. So if it's outside of, oh, okay, wearing a wig and all that, it could be, again, trying out some different makeup. So it could be a
Mhm.
certain smell, a certain way you like to smell, a certain thing. It's like we have to like remind ourselves, of who we are and like of our essence that we have and all of that. So, life can beat us up. We can be feeling like, oh, I'm just whatever, I'm failing at work, I'm failing in my family, I'm ugly, all these things can be going through our minds because of different things that life just, life or whatever. But it's up to us. We all have to like have that internal power to be able to just
Absolutely.
remind ourselves, love on ourselves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like certain things, like for me, like I started with, like I deal with depression, I deal with anxiety, and especially on the days when I'm feeling really down, I'm very just, beating myself up because I'm, oh my God, why I can't stop feeling like this, whatever. It's sometimes literally I will make myself get up, girl, put your little face on, throw on your wig, and like and I have to tell myself sometimes, like, you too cute to cry today. So,
Absolutely.
pull it together. You know what I'm
Ain't no
saying? So
crying.
seriously, like, and it helps me because, like, again, I can get in those moods, and you once you get in it, you can just stay in it. You know what I'm saying? You in
Yeah.
it, you just going down further down, and I have to like, no key. Again, that's where my the whole her savage came from. It's like that's one of my affirmations. I am savage. Like I tell myself that, like, I am savage. I am strong. I am assured. I am victorious. I'm amazing. I am graceful, and I am
Absolutely.
enough. Like I am fierce. And so I have to remind myself of that because I'll get down in that pocket sometimes, again, especially with the depression, that I'm feeling just so low and whatever. But like I said, I know for me personally, when I put on my wig, when I fill in these eyebrows and I at least put on my little lipstick, it does something for me that just uplifts my spirit. You get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
everybody just taking the time to figure out what is that thing for you that can just make you remember you. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And those are things that nobody can take that away
No
from
one
you. You get what I'm saying? That's
can.
something that
And
you
you know
got, and
what?
you
Just
yeah.
to piggyback off of you and saying that,
Mhm.
I only allow myself to feel bad. I don't care what's going on in life. I don't care if I'm having a bad moment or whatever's going on. I will only allow myself to cry for an hour.
Okay.
I only allow myself to feel bad for an hour. And
Hmm.
then I'm like, hey, you got that emotion out. It's over. Let's move on with your day and let's move on with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, you can let that hinder you. And
Oh
then
yeah.
you stuck in this whole cycle that you don't
Mm-hmm.
even know how to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
So the days that I'm not feeling good, I'm like you, Key. I'm popping on a whole new damn wig. I'm putting some makeup on.
Yes.
Guess what? I got to get some pounds off me, but I'm working on that. That's a whole other story. Because I've been
But
trying
you
to
can
here
do
since
it.
I've been retired, and I just been eating. And girl, I've been having a good time.
Look happy,
However,
happy. That's okay. But you can do it, and that's the power, I think, of the mind, and kind of just bringing it back home as far as like with the whole mindset. Us, again, life is gonna happen.
life
We,
happened.
in our case, we have gotten alopecia different ways, different reasons. We both have alopecia. We've lost our
Yes,
hair. We dealing with it, whatever. It's a choice, like you said. Stuff is gonna happen, and you're gonna feel. And it's like, okay, nobody's saying you shouldn't feel sad, you shouldn't feel, but it's like, okay, feel what you feel, but then you have to make a choice that I'm going to do what's within my power to move past this, or this has defeated me, right? So we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we
how we
respond to it. And so
respond to it.
just, again, finding like that support system, so be it a community, your loved ones, and being open. Like, say, everybody needs that safe space, a place to be vulnerable, to say, like, again, we both share a similar story as far as like how we have, just our with our spouses and trying to hide it, and
Yeah,
things like that. And they both are like, whatever, I love you, girls. It's funny as ever. Like, real quick, I've had people, it's like, oh, I know your husband happy because, talking about like, you, like, basically you could be a whole different person at home. Like, how you be walking around, you probably be switching I'd be switching my hair up at home. And I'm like, no, he basically be getting meal braids most of the time. I'm looking like a little, I got a little
look,
nappy
you
braids
be
to the
like,
back
girl,
going on half the time, whatever. Like, but he don't care. He love it anyway.
right,
Like, and
right.
so, very appreciative, of that, and having that, sorry, I lose my voice, having that support system. But like, just just at the end of the day, don't hide. Don't feel like you are alone. You're not alone.
Yeah,
Yes, the world can be mean, the world can be cruel, but there are communities, there are providers, and that's another thing I think for both of us, by us experiencing this as, on the end of, having to wear wigs ourselves as a consumer. I know for me, like I said, the way that I set up my business has a lot to do with all of the stuff that I wish that was there for me as I started
absolutely.
my wig journey. I'm not a stylist, I'm not
I ain't none
whatever.
of that
This all came
either.
from, yeah, it came from a place. I was like an Uber consumer. I did all this research. I did all this stuff. And then I started, especially when it came to the braids, when I started getting into them for myself, like, I was getting a lot of crap.
Yeah,
Like, literally people, the picture look one way and I'll get it and it's too big, or it's, bulky. You can see the lace, all this crap, whatever. And I started learning how to like fix things. And that's kind of how I got all into it. But just from that place of having that support of somebody that can, answer your questions, or encourage you, can show you different styles that make him work or whatever. Like us, we both, we offer consultations. So
mhm.
if you are on here and you are like, okay, I'm thinking about it, whether it's braids, regular, get you a blonde bombshell, like Mel got on, or whatever you're thinking about, you do have two providers that are, very much
And
purpose based businesses, that we want to help women to look and feel your best, whatever that means for you. If
right.
it's, you want to be, this is one of my, what I call my savage AF unit. I have different savage levels. I got the low key, the savage, and the savage AF. And so
I'm getting that
most days
savage. I'm getting that because we both purple girls, and it's so
yeah,
ironic how Key and I met. We're in the same mentorship
yeah.
group, and not even knowing each other had alopecia because in our group, this group is so amazing. I just can't even
Hmm.
speak highly
It
enough
is.
about this group. So Key and I, we were like, what? We both love purple. We both like the snake. We both have alopecia. So we're coming from a place that not people trying to get on the bandwagon. We're coming from a place
Hmm.
that we experience. We live it every day.
Hmm.
So we're here to help women to find their inner beauty, to reclaim their power, to be a savage, to be a male's girls and curls, all of
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
We are here. We offer consultations. We want you to follow us on our IG. I am Mel's
Yes.
Girls and Curls. Key is
Her
her
savage
savage
hair.
hair. And she does
Yes.
the braid wigs, and her wigs, like I said before, are beautiful. I got
Thank
beautiful
you.
wigs. We are here. We want to help anybody. So if you know anybody, your mama, your sister, your auntie, your niece, your next door neighbor, we will be more than happy to empower the women and for them to get their power back, their self-esteem, their confidence,
Hmm.
and to go ahead and manage to this life. And with this
Yeah.
climate the way it is, we don't need any more depression. We don't need any of that. We don't want our black women to be depressed about
No.
nothing because we can conquer whatever we put our mind to.
Hmm.
We are strong. God has
Hmm.
instilled that in us. So
Hmm.
let's step out. Let's do what we need to do. And we're going to see if you ladies have any questions before we end our live. And like I
Hmm.
said, this is not the last of Key and I. You're gonna see many more lives that we're
Yeah.
collaborating and talking to you women because we need to get our black women together and women in general. You could be purple and we don't really care actually. I say black women because I'm black and that's who I can relate
Mhm.
to, but I
But
don't
it's women.
mind bringing in other women as well. Women are
We get
women.
beat down so much. Again, we take on so much as women, and just, inherently we just do. And again, like, we take a lot of people's bags. We take on all of our stuff. And the thing is, a lot of times we say we feel like regardless of what we got going on inside, we got to hold it together for everybody else,
Yeah.
while inside we're just like falling apart or
Mhm.
dying and feeling miserable. And so it's very important for us to recognize and to what our emotions are and what we're feeling. And if we need some support, we need some help, it's okay. You're not weak. Again,
No.
like I said, I Am Savage came from a place of me feeling weak because I can't control my thoughts and my feelings. Why can't I just,
Absolutely.
be good? But it's like, so that's why I say I affirm myself by saying I am savage. And that's why that's the basis of my business and my personal mantra. And this is like what my business is about, helping women to remember their savage, their power. And so if you, like I said, if you are dealing with something, like, again, reach out. If you, like I said, and I'll put this out there here. If you are interested in terms of, even, okay, like, especially, I know the braided wigs is something, kind of new. A lot of people are like, I see them, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like I said, I offer consultations, male offer consultations. If you're interested, I would love, like I said, you could DM me, and I'll give you a call. You can do a complimentary consultation, and we can go through and talk about any questions you have. If you have a particular condition or concern related to just, wigs and what it would be like and all that, because I really want, I want everybody to experience like how this is a good life,
Yeah.
in a sense of like being able to, you don't have to, be at a
Yeah.
salon. You can just throw on a go and keep it moving, like, regardless if you have to or not. It's just, just like, you get your good wig just to
Yeah.
have at least one of them. You just never know when it's convenient. The convenience of them, like, is
And let me tell
wonderful.
you,
Like,
when I tell you wigs can change your life, and I'm not just saying that,
oh
you
yeah.
don't have to even buy a wig from me. When I tell you wigs will change your life and can change your life, it will change your life. Because for one, people always look at the price, but you want a good quality wig because
Mm-hmm.
that wig is going to last you 2 to 3 years.
For years, yeah.
2 to 3 years with proper care. If you go to the beauty supply, you're spending $200 on a cheap wig that's gonna last you 3 or 4 months. That's gonna be
So this
falling
wig is
up on the
2 years
back of your
old.
head like
Mm-hmm.
cotton candy. So you want to, it's an investment, and we get that that's an investment. But check it out. I paid $500 or $600 for a wig that lasts me 2 or 3 years, and I learned how to put it on myself, or I get a glueless wig, and I can go grab and go. I can switch it up. I can get me a curly wig, a bob, or whatever kind of styles that you like. You don't have to sit in the salon for hours on end. We're not trying to take anything away from salon owners, but if you're suffering from hair loss, what you don't want to do is sit in a salon and somebody looking at your bald head.
Yeah, I've been there
I've
where,
been there too, girl. I wanted to
yeah,
go through the
and
floor.
people, yeah, people are staring at you
People are
and
staring at you
whatever, and
like,
it's yeah.
what's wrong with her?
So it definitely can be like, something that can just be very triggering, and just, again, make you to just feel
Make you feel low,
lower than you might be feeling.
small,
So
embarrassed. So you can do
hmm
this in the privacy of your own home. And this is what we want to let you ladies know. You can switch up at any time. So it's worth the investment. And we need to
hmm
invest in ourselves. There is no one more deserving serving than you yourself.
Hmm.
Because when you don't love on you, you can't love on your husband, you can't love on your
Your
children, you
babies,
can't
like, yep.
love on anyone
Yep.
if you're feeling some kind of way inside about yourself. So therefore, we want to uplift you and to ensure you, if you girl, I like a good braid with, I'm gonna get that purple one. I'm gonna get that purple one that you got on right there.
This is Miss Aaliyah. This is Aaliyah. That's her
Okay,
name.
I'm gonna get Miss
Yeah,
Aaliyah. I
Aaliyah.
like Miss Aaliyah. So,
Thank
do
you.
you ladies have any questions before Key and I get off of this live? What questions do you have for us? Let's see, Key. Let's go to see if we have anything that we need to answer. Because I know we've been doing a lot of talking. That's because we're
Yes.
so excited and we just really wanted to get our message across.
Mhm.
A lot of people are in denial, especially younger people. This
Yeah.
is, yes, yes, this is beautiful. And thank you so much, T.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
JF. Some of this stuff look bunched up. That was good advice. Thank you, JF. Yes, ladies, you guys
And I
are
see a couple ladies
amazing.
noting that they suffer from the postpartum. That's something that definitely the postpartum hair loss. Like that's something that can definitely bring it on.
Yes,
And it, yeah,
yes.
definitely. And
And then,
that's
you know,
something.
there's a such thing of like hereditary hair loss. There's
Hmm.
so many different forms. There's so many different forms. And if you think that you are suffering from any kind of hair loss, go get diagnosed. Don't diagnose yourself. Go and go
Yes.
to the dermatologist. You may have to have a biopsy, depending on what type of alopecia. Do your research, so that way you won't be in turmoil. Turmoil. Love it,
So I
ladies.
do
That's all it's
to
been
show.
saying.
I see Katie here about the braided wigs. So all of my braided wigs, they come with an adjustable elastic band. So it's like, basically like a bra strap. So that helps to tighten it. It gives you a couple inches both ways. And I also put combs. I don't have one here, but I usually put combs at the back of the unit.
Mm-hmm.
And the purpose that I do that is for you to be able to, and not necessarily put, not to, you don't have to even have hair to put there, but I like to put the comb right underneath the band. So that's
Yeah.
another way to make the cap feel snug. And so this one is a closure. It's a 5x5 closure. What I have on is a frontal. Again, I don't have a glue down, just threw it on. And then I also have full lace. I have all different styles, and types of, from a style standpoint as well as the type of wig,
Right.
or whatever. So, like I said, yeah. So definitely, I would love your client if she wants to do a consultation. Just DM me and we can, set something up if you have questions, and you can be able to see some of the units up close, and I can give some recommendations depending on like your style,
Right.
style choices you might be interested in. I
Absolutely.
keep
And
on
I think
I keep
somebody
putting my wig
said,
on to make sure it's
my
okay.
destiny child says summer is coming up, so the Brave unit will be perfect. We have so many good comments.
Yeah,
I
I
so
appreciate all
enjoyed
the
you, ladies.
support, ladies.
We enjoyed you too, and we appreciate you all coming in on our joint venture. Key and I have so many things that we're going to plan out
Hmm.
to do throughout the summer and the year. So you won't see the last of us. So please follow us on IG. I am Males, Girls, and Curls. Key, go ahead and give your handle.
Hey, mine is her savage hair all together, and you'll see me with a purple. I have an all purple wig on that
You
one.
have all purple.
But yeah,
And you're just
yeah,
so
her
crazy
savage
that
hair.
I love purple. He loves purple. I sell the traditional body wave, straight bobs,
Hmm.
curly 5x5 closure wigs, and the 13x4 and 13x6 wigs. And Key specialize in braid wigs.
Hmm.
So check us out. Like we said, we're here to help. If you know people that's new to wigs, don't understand it, we are here to
Hmm.
help them and guide them, hold their hands through this process. It has been great. Key, you can have any final words before we end this live?
Almost say it's just do you and be savage. Like show up, take up space, do all the things. Like be fully you.
Yes.
Don't, the world got a way of making us shrink, and it's like no, be bold. God made you uniquely, wonderfully, made. You are you. You are unique. You are special. Like I said, you are amazing. You are savage, strong, assured, victorious, amazing, graceful, and enough. So every day when you wake up, I want you to say savage mode on. Put on your savage mode before you walk out the door so that you can let yourself, your mind, and everybody else know, like, not today. I know who I am and I know whose I am. So that's it.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with that. And all I can say, be strong, take your power back, be
Mm-hmm.
empowered. You are gorgeous. You are
Mm-hmm.
everything that God has intended you to be. You don't let
Yes.
anyone dim your light or
Yes.
make you small or make you feel some kind of way. We are out here. We got the same purpose in life. We just want to
Mm-hmm.
love and be loved and be happy doing it. So I want to say thank you, ladies. Thank everybody for joining our live, and we will see you the next time.
Amen. All
All
right.
right, bye.
This was great, Mia.
Yes, Keith. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you
Yeah.
soon. Thank
Okay.
everybody for
Bye,
joining
ladies.
us. We love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.